Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday class. Today we'll be discussing on the plot of Shakespeare's romances Pericles, The Winter's Tale and The Tempest. So first of all, Pericles. It is subtitled The Prince of Tyre. It is set in Greece. Before going into the plot, let me tell you about the major characters in this story. Antiochus, king of Antioch, Pericles, prince of Tyre, Helicanus and Aeschines, two lords of Tyre, Simonides, king of Pentapolis, Cleon, governor of Tarsus, Lysimachus, governor of Mytilene, Cerimon, a lord of Euphus, Thaliart, a lord of Antioch, Philemon, servant to Cerimon, Leonine, servant to Dionysia, Marshall, a panda, male owner of a brothel, Boult, the panter's servant, daughter of Antiochus, Dionysia, wife to Cleon, Thaisa, daughter to Simonides, Pericles' wife, Marina, daughter to Pericles and Thaisa, Lycorida, nurse to Marina, About, female owner of a brothel, Diana, and Gower as chorus. So, John Gower introduces each act with a prologue. The play opens in the court of Antiochus, king of Antioch, who has offered the hand of his beautiful daughter to any man who answers his riddle. But those who fail shall die. And the riddle is, I am no viper, yet I feed on mother's flesh which did me breed. I sought a husband in which labor. I found that kindness in a father. His father, sorry, son and husband mild. I, mother, wife, and yet his child. How they may be, and yet into, as you will live, resolve it you. Pericles, the young prince of Tyre in Phoenicia, Lebanon, hears the riddle and instantly understands its meaning. Antiochus is engaged in an incestuous relationship with his daughter. If he reveals this truth, he will be killed. But if he answers incorrectly, he will also be killed. Pericles hints that he knows the answer and asks for more time to think. Antiochus grants him 40 days and then sends an assassin after him. However, Pericles had fled the city in disgust. Pericles returns to Tyre, where his trusted friend and counselor Helicanus advises him to leave the city, for Antiochus surely will hunt him down. Pericles leaves Helicanus as regent and sails to Tarsus, a city beset by famine. The generous Pericles gives the governor of the city, Cleon, and his wife, Dionysia, grain from his ship to save their people. The famine ends, and after being thanked profusely by Cleon and Dionysia, Pericles continues on. A storm wrecks Pericles' ship and washes him upon the shores of Pentapolis. He is rescued by a group of poor fishermen who inform him that Simonides, king of Pentapolis, is holding a tournament the next day and that the winner will receive the hand of his daughter Thaisa in marriage. Fortunately, one of the fishermen drags Pericles' suit of armor on shore that very moment, and the prince decides to enter the tournament. Although his equipment is rusty, Pericles wins the tournament and the hand of Thaisa, who is deeply attracted to him, and they get married. And Simonides initially expresses doubt about the union, but soon comes to like Pericles and allows them to wed. A letter sent by the nobleman reaches Pericles in Pentapolis, who decides to return to Tyre with the pregnant Thaisa. Again, a storm arises while at sea, and Thaisa appears to die, giving birth to her child, Marina. The sailors insist that Thaisa's body be set overboard in order to calm the storm. Pericles grudgingly agrees and decides to stop at Tarsus because he fears that Marina may not survive the storm. Luckily, Thaisa's casket washes ashore at Euphis near the residence of Lord Cerimon, a physician who revives her. Thinking that Pericles died in the storm, Thaisa becomes a priestess in the temple of Diana. Pericles departs to rule Tyre, leaving Marina in the care of Cleon and Dionysia. Marina grows up more beautiful than Philoten, the daughter of Cleon and Dionysia, so Dionysia plans Marina's murder. The plan is thwarted when pirates kidnap Marina and they sell her to a brothel in Mytilene. There, Marina manages to keep her virginity by convincing the men that they should seek virtue. Worried that she is ruining their market, the brothel rents her out as a tutor to respectable young ladies. She becomes famous for music and other decorous entertainments. Meanwhile, Pericles returns to Tarsus for his daughter. The governor and his wife claim she has died. In grief, he takes to the sea. Pericles' wanderings bring him to Mytilene, where the governor Lysimachus, seeking to cheer him up, brings in Mariana. They compare their sad stories and joyfully realize they are father and daughter. Next, the goddess Diana appears in a dream to Pericles and tells him to come to the temple where he finds Thaisa. The wicked Cleon and Dionysia are killed when their people revolt against their crime. And Lysimachus will marry Marina. In that way, the Pericles ends. Next is the Winter's Tale. King of Leonides of Sicilia begs his childhood friend, King Polixenes of Bohemia, to extend his visit to Sicilia. Polixenes protests that he has been away from his kingdom for 9 months, but after Leonatus' pregnant wife, Hermione pleads him with, he relents and agrees to stay a little longer. Leonatus, meanwhile, has become possessed with jealousy, convinced that Polixenes and Hermione are lovers. He orders his royal retainer Camilio to poison the Bohemian king. Instead, Camilio warns Polixenes of what is afoot, and the two men flee Sicilia immediately. Furious at their escape, Leontes now publicly accuses his wife of infidelity and declares that the child she is bearing must be illegitimate. He throws her in prison over the protest of his nobles and sends to the oracle of Delphi for what he is sure will be confirmation of his suspicions. Meanwhile, the queen gives birth to a girl, and her loyal friend Paulina brings the baby to the king in the hope that the sight of the child will soften his heart. He only grows angrier, however, and orders Paulina's husband, Lord Antigonus, to take the child and abandon it in some desolate place. While Antigonus is gone, the answer comes from Delphi. Hermione and Polixenes are innocent, and Leontes will have no heir until his lost daughter is found. And this news is revealed. Word comes that Leontes' son, Mamilius, has died of a wasting sickness brought on by the accusations against his mother. Hermione, meanwhile, falls in a swoon and is carried away by Paulina, who subsequently reports the queen's death to her heartbroken and repentant husband. Antigonus, meanwhile, abandons the baby on the Bohemian coast, reporting that Hermione appeared to him in a dream and bade him name the girl Perdita and leave gold and other tokens on her person. Shortly thereafter, Antigonus is killed by a bear and Perdita is raised by a kindly shepherd. 16 years pass and the son of Polixenes, Prince Florizel, falls in love with Perdita. His father and Camillo attend a ship sharing in disguise and watch as Florizel and Perdita are betrothed. Then, tearing off the disguise, Polyxenus intervenes and orders his son never to see the shepherd's daughter again. With the aid of Camillo, however, who longs to see his native land again, Florizel and Perdita take ship for Sicilia after using the clothes of a local rogue, Autolycus, as a disguise. They are joined in their voyage by the shepherd and his son, a clown, who are directed there by Autolycus. In Sicilia, Leontes, still in mourning after all this time, greets the son of his old friend effusively. Florizel presents to be on a diplomatic mission from his father, but his cover is blown when Polyxenus and Camillo too arrive in Sicilia. What happens next is told to us by the gentleman of the Sicilian court. The shepherd tells everyone his story of how Perdita was found, and Leontes realizes that she is his daughter, leading to general rejoicing. The entire company then goes to Paulina's house in the country where a statue of Hermione has been recently finished. The sight of his wife's form makes Leontes distraught, but then, to everyone's amazement, the statue comes to life. It is Hermione restored to life. As the play ends, Paulina and Camillo are engaged, and the whole company celebrates the miracle. Okay, I thought of telling the plot of The Tempest too, but I think the session became a little longer. So, in the next class, we will continue with the plot of The Tempest. Okay, so that's all for today. Happy Sunday.